We are going back to more of what we were doing last year, what we had success in doing. So I'm going back to being the number one on D side. We've actually moved Cody Chong back over to the snake side to see if he feels more at home over there. We are missing another player this event just due to work. It's a yearly trip he goes on for work, so you know, it's nothing we weren't planning for. We knew this all season that he wouldn't be here. Yeah, we have our full coaching staff here again, which we were missing one in Texas. The layout, I think, really appeals to our team. We were only able to get one weekend on the layout due to having to run an OPL event the first weekend of the layout, but we had 2 great practices, just a double day. Really able to break down that layout, still shot, you know, a lot of hate on it. And I think this layout just caters to our team's strengths. It's gonna be a fast layout. I think you're gonna see a lot of mercies. Potentially, you know, I don't think there's gonna be long points. I think it's gonna be high scoring points. You get 1 or 2 kills off the break and the team is just gonna get to the 50s and start wrapping and closing those games out really quick.
Don't want your headgear to fall off? Or a little dab of water. Locks right in.
You got a tip for not getting shot?
You got a tip for diving?
Good. I mean,
A tip for diving? I don't have any tips.
Yesterday was my
I got anything, IT?
No.
I started playing paintball, I think in the 7th grade. I went to a birthday party, and it was just the most fun I ever had. I played against all these guys for the most part in the CXBL forever, and kind of played with some of them at some points. Connor was one of the guys who I played with forever, really, and then we all kind of just banded up with the Seadogs. I took a couple months off last season, and then hopped on with the Seadogs in Chicago last year, and then played World Cup, and then been playing with them ever since.
Me and a friend when we were kids, just obsessed with war. So we played with Wasaga Beach paintball, like woods ball. I seen speedball and was like, man, I need to get involved in that somehow. Yeah. So then me and Tom Guest from San Diego Aftermath kind of like met at Wasaga Beach. Our parents would drop us off and we just kind of like, I don't know, became good friends and started our own team, and then moved up from there together. And he's playing pro now and I'm playing with Seadogs. I knew of them and played against them, but I didn't know on like a personal level, and I made that jump over here. It just felt like the right thing to do. I play all over the field. I'll be up the middle, I'll be snake side, I'll be B side. Just a good time, you know, minus the arguments in the pits. But other than that, it's a pretty good time. There's stories and it's memories that you'll go to your coffin with. Thursday before the event, we got to play the Outlaws, the pro team. And they gave us a completely different look and completely just shit pumped us. It wasn't fun by any means, but it helped us alter our game for our first game Friday.
The weather was pretty gnarly. We got lucky to practice right before the rainstorm, but when we were hanging out in the pits, it got pretty gnarly.
Yeah, playing in mud sucks. It's probably one of the worst things about paintball is playing in mud. Just not being able to go home to your own bed and like clean your shit and know that you have a washer and dryer. Just sucks. It's just time consuming. It cuts into your time to get ready, clean your shit, go to bed, make food, go out and get food, especially when you're coming from Canada and shit like that. It's a pain in the ass, but everyone's dealing with it. It's not just us. But yeah, this event poured on us. Thankfully it was hot today and it's supposed to be hot tomorrow. So our first game against the Jits, a Florida-based team. They come from the damage camp. I think they might have won D2 last year in overall standings. But they're a good team. Going in there, because we've had 2 bad events, regardless of who they were, we had to win that first game of the event.
Do you just feel like there is no air left to breathe? Do you just wanna to be left outside the grid? It's all for sure, you didn't know. I wonder what it meant to be. If I let go and let it flow, I think there's more to see.
I just need a break. I'll take what you take. I just need to break.
Do you just feel like there is no just left to see? Do you just wanna to rewriting down your script? It's all for sure, you didn't know. I wonder what it meant to be. If I let go, so let it flow. I think there's more in me.
I just need a break. I'll take what you take. I just need to break.
Yeah, 2 different penalties. Yeah, so you got the major for the unsportsmanlike overshoot. Right?
So what was the minor on?
The talking after.
Who was that?
The Seadogs player walking this way. Guys?
No, I'm just trying.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay,
I need one of you guys to talk, right? I don't need both of you guys to talk.
So the guy you threw the minor on, was he dead or was he alive?
The player coming this way?
Yes.
No,
You
he'd
threw
still
the
be,
minor.
he'd,
You threw the
he'd still be
minor.
an active player.
Right. So you said he got a penalty for talking.
Yes.
But why was he? Well,
The
Regardless,
unsportsmanlike.
it does not matter because it was
It's
a
a
major
minor-
under
it's a-
60
correct.
seconds,
That's
swing
what I'm
point,
saying.
tie game,
Right.
game's over.
So that's what I'm saying, right? So you got the penalty, right, for the unsportsmanlike conduct. The continual minor afterwards, let me explain it,
Yeah, I am.
is the verbalization to the referee at that point.
Shane, did you say something?
Well, he threw the yellow in there, and I said, Brett, you can't just go and went down.
No, but you can't go through refs and say, get off the field. No, but they gave it. Whatever we said. No, I know.
I was like, this is
No.
the ref said it's a double.
Yeah, they gave you the minor. Yeah, for talking. No, that's what they're saying up there.
We had a couple mistakes. The one point we lost, we ended up running 6 guys out in the same point. So that was kind of funny. I remember going out to the bunker and came out shooting, and all of a sudden everybody stopped from the point. And it's like, oh, what's going on? Cody's like, oh yeah, they started 6 bodies. I started looking around and I counted us, and we had 6. It was like, uh-oh. So anyways, they ended up getting a point for that. And then we came out, we put a couple more points on the board. I think they put 1 point on. And came down to a long point. And I remember Devo came down. They had a guy at the 50 Dorito, and then they had a guy at the 50 brick. And I remember that the 50 brick guy ended up jumping out and matched the guy in the 50 brick, or in the 50 wedge. Both of them were there. I remember Devo came down and absolutely blasted the guy. And then we ended up getting a malicious intent penalty for that. So we ended up losing that point, or they gave him swing point, and so we won that game 4-3.
Pretty much just came down to like organization, discipline, and just figuring it ourselves, I guess.
Fucking play smart. Sure, we beat fucking his last weekend, but they know what's better than anybody else. Guys, they're coming hard. We know their strongest player. If either of these fits are down the deep side, Red is staying at home shooting safe offside. They did it every point. They're gonna keep on doing it. They're not gonna fucking change that up. Chase is gonna be up the middle. We know that. Hey, all right, let's go. Hey, let's go. Picking those kills up the break. Hey, one more. Hey, one kill, 1 point at a time. 2 on 3. 1, 2, 3.
All right.
So then we played, after that we played Toronto Chargers, which was our local other team, so we practiced them last weekend. So it was a little bit different playing a team that we just practiced. We kind of knew their habits and the way they play, but they also knew the same thing, that our habits and the way we played. But we matched up pretty well against them, and we ended up beating them.
We had to be there at 7:30 to help coach our D3 and D2 teams. We didn't play till like 2 in the afternoon. We had 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock games. So really long days. Didn't leave the field from like 7 till probably 6 or 7 at night. So we were there for like 12 hours plus. It sucks, but it is what we got to do.
Yeah, Derek actually has a really good schedule and structure set up for the camps. So the Seadogs camp, we have a semi-pro team, a Division II team, and a Division III team. So as at the tournaments, we all kind of work together and help assist with all the teams. So typically, depending on the schedule, obviously, right? Sometimes the schedules are a little off, but in a situation like this weekend, we had 8 o'clock games. The Division III team and the Division II team were almost playing at the same time. So semi-pro guys would split up, and half will go to D2, half will go to D3 and help them out, and then they'd kind of help us out at the same time when they were done their matches. So it's all a big family. We all kind of help each other. If somebody needs to borrow something or a gun or a gear or something, everybody's there. And we all work as a team. It's structured really well. We also have designated guys, I guess, so some guys will pod run, some guys will fill pods. We have scouters, so some guys will scout teams, and just, it all works in the end. Preparation's everything, right? So this morning, I think we felt pretty good. We came in 2-0 yesterday, and we knew we had 2 hard games today. So I don't know. I think we felt pretty confident in the way we were playing, and we knew what we had to do. So we came out and we played Cali Elite was our first game, and we kind of had to play a different type of paintball there. It was a lot slower of a game than we were used to playing the day before.
Yeah. Yeah. Y'all think too small, I got big dreams. You just starting, I'm way ahead at the end scenes. Started reading and dodging all of the quick schemes. Money like your Spotify, boy, I got 10 streams. And I'm still looking for more. My people, they got a soar, I'm putting that on the Lord. Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' as kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cards is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live. And I promise I'm trying to. Before you count me out, homie, let me remind you. They was blocking the shine, now I think it's my time to. Counting them dollar signs like lights, they'll blind you. Let me rewind to back when I was broke and I couldn't acquire 2 cents, and now I got 2 rents. They was sleeping on me, homie, must have got too big.
On my phone, I be like, who this? Damn right, hell yeah, I'm brand new. Smell like can too. I'm fresh forever like canned food. Try and tell me what I can't do. I wanna see the world.
I was screaming. Yeah, but I thought the 400 went to 5.
He snapped the guy on the wire, then another guy
So I killed the wire, I killed him down the wire, came back in, and I dominance on Monster, I went to move to the 5, and he was at the 3. He killed Monster. I did 7. Wait, no, I did. Oh, yeah.
Going into point 4, 5-on-5, it was an 8.5 minute point. They pulled it out with 9 seconds remaining, and you know, guys get to the pits. We really wanted that win. It could have changed like seeding going into Sunday. Maybe it's a day, like maybe it's you get a bye, like you don't know, but like, you want that win. A tie is kind of like a loss. So tensions were high coming off between a couple of guys, and it is what it is. Things we need to work on, but it all got worked out eventually.
We ended up, after that game, I think we were kind of upset with each other. We really knew we should have won that game, so that tie kind of hurt us. At that point, we really knew we had to win that next match, but our heads were kind of hung a little bit lower than they should have been, I think. I think we should have looked at that as a positive, still as a tie instead of a loss. But I don't know, the vibe was just a little bit different, I think, going into that next game. But there's a couple things I maybe wanted to do different in that match before. I think everybody kind of felt that way. So we were kind of all reminiscing, I think, on some things that we should have done that never happened. But yeah, the only thing we could do is kind of look forward and knew we had to win that next match. So.
3 on 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. We got it.
No, it was from the audience. He told me. He said the audience was talking to you. Who was on the audience that we know? I don't know. That's what the guy told me.
Apparently, when I was walking off, they were like, "Where'd you hit, ref?" Because I got called out on a ghost.
They know not to talk anymore? Nick, Cody, Shane, Ryan, and then whoever wants to go up and meet them.
Listen up. We need 2 points, but there's lots of fucking. Alright? You don't have to do stupid moves to get the points. You just gotta be smart. It's 2.5 minutes per point. That's more than enough fucking time, okay?
Grinder. Well, we were hoping it was going to be a grinder. They came in, very first point, we were up 5 bodies to 3 bodies. Something happened on Snake's side. Someone watching, I guess, sideline coach, the ref said. So they pulled our Snake side out, and it didn't get relayed across to the D side. Some guys got shot out, myself included. And luckily, they got a flag at the same time as our last guy got shot out, so it was a no point. which maybe it continued over to next point, maybe it didn't. But we ended up dropping 4 consecutive points back to back to back, and we lost 4-0.
If you guys stay composed, then guys can't run into fucking guns when you know there's a 100 and alpha. Okay? I'm trying to stay composed. Okay, then you guys stay composed quick.
Well, I was doing work over there, bro.
Pretty pumped just to be back in Sunday. It's a must-win game, of course. I don't really know too much about the newbies. They came from D2, I believe. So I don't really know much about them. They clearly are a good team. They're no pushover. They beat some pretty big names this weekend. So I think it's going to be a good game. It's a must-win. We just got to keep our heads cool. Can't take penalties. I guess we'll see how it goes.
Focus so much on communication and hey, like what is the strategy, what zones do we have, and I think you guys did a really good job of that this event, but it was just some small little things that lost some points.
Everybody was talking, everybody was communicating, everything was working, and then the penalties dropping so many bodies off the break, they're so fast. It's like I think that's what cost us that match. Aside from that, like we were getting kills off the break.
We shot 60 case of feet. I played 2 points in the middle of the fucking field. I played 1 or 2 points to be as number 1 on D side. Why the fuck am I practicing number 1 on D side if I do not do it at the event? I know I had 1 or 2 bad points in the first fucking weekend. I'm not blaming that for Sydney. I deserve to be sad after 2 points. But where do we draw the line?
Oof, what a roller coaster. It was almost a repeat of Texas. Lots of rain, lots of mud. You know, just makes paintball tough. Hitting the laundromat every night, so you're up extra late. Penalties have been the story of the year for us. If I had to guess, we've had over 3 events, we've had 30 plus penalties. You know, that's we're never going to win events based off 30 penalties. Over 3 events, you know, average 10 penalties an event. It's not a way to succeed. You know, we're gonna come back stronger for Chicago. You know, we are still out to prove to ourselves and prove to everybody else that we're still a top team in 7 Pro, even though we haven't been performing it this year. But we're gonna keep grinding and come on out and go swinging for Chicago. It's a long summer before Chicago, so we got lots of time to practice and hone in our mistakes and go from there.